Hey, what's up, y'all? Happy Saturday. Um, yeah, I know I look a little rough. Don't pay no attention to that. If I sound a little off, or if you hear me cough or something, I am sick right now. Uh, apparently, apparently that is still a thing that will happen. Um, and no, it's not COVID. I have both of my shots and everything. I'm good. Just allergies and stuff, man. It's terrible. So I've been talking to people and having a lot of conversations here, and I actually haven't been doing too many videos lately because of all of the reading and stuff that I've been doing. But one of the questions that I keep getting brought up to me is, how do I go about working on myself and changing my life? Okay, like changing the way that I think, because that's ultimately what it all takes. It requires a change in thought, because your mind does control everything else. So once you can start getting that supercomputer of yours to actually start working for you instead of against you, then you can propel your life forward. Like, okay, well, how the hell do you do that? First, you gotta be honest with yourself. It sucks, okay? Especially at first. When you start looking at yourself and you start looking at the people in your life, and you start looking at the things that you've done or the things that have been done to you that you still carry with you. That baggage that we all talk about, it's the shit that we carry around with us. That darkness that people have within them, it is those shadows in which those things lie. And if you focus not on the light within, but only on the darkness, that's going to be your life. And I've been trying to explain to people the things that we say about ourselves, to other people about us. It has an actual physical and physiological effect on us. If you are constantly talking about, I'm sick, I don't feel this, and blah, 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 and I don't have that, and I don't have this, and I'm never going to do, all of those things are self-fulfilling prophecies. You are putting that out there, that is going to come back to you. So you have to learn to think in a way that takes away the negativity. Okay, so like for instance, myself. Um, I don't say that I got a lot of issues to work on. All right, I say I have opportunities for growth, because yes, even though I'm well aware of my flaws, I'm not going to look at myself and down myself by calling them my flaws. Those are just opportunities of growth. Those are things that I can work on, that I can better myself on. One of the original ones that I worked on the most was my volatility. I was snap, and that was because I was stuffing so much stuff down and holding it in and letting it build and build and build and build, and it would be this swell, and then it would be something simple, something small, the straw that broke the camel's back, and then I would blow up. And see, I kept putting myself in that same pattern over and over and over again. And I'm sure some of you do the same thing. You find yourself falling back into the same patterns that got you to where you are now. And if you're in a place that you're not happy with, well, the truth is, it's because of you. It's not because of anybody else. That's a hard thing to accept. That your life is the way that it is because of you. If you're not happy with your life, you want to look elsewhere. You want to look externally. You want to talk about how this person cheated you out of something, how that person didn't give you a fair shake, how being black is harder, how being a woman is harder. Yeah, those things are all true. It is harder in a lot of situations. But what does that have to do with you? What does that have to do with me? Nothing. Nothing. If shit's harder, work harder. There's a shirt that I see all the time. It says, "Nobody cares, work harder." That's it, man. When you start looking at things and you start looking at them from the perspective of what can I do to change this? What can I do to work on myself? What can I do to change me? People don't want to do that. People are scared of what they will find in the shadows. Sometimes it's rough. I will not lie to you about that. Sometimes it is. And sometimes you will find more pain. But again, it is pain that will heal. Because it is only pain because you are bringing to light something that was hidden. I talk about flashlights and the purpose of them to illuminate something that is in the dark. And we take flashlights, and this is for all of y'all. This is how you work on yourself. You take this flashlight that you're used to just taking around and pointing here and pointing here and pointing here. I mean, like, okay, there's a tree over there. There's a bush over there. You know, there's the AC unit over there. There's a truck over there. You're taking that concept of that flashlight, and instead of shining it on something externally to look at something outside of you, you turn it inward. And you take that flashlight and you shine it inside of you, into those dark areas. You shine light in the darkness. You bring to light what is hidden in the darkness. And once you find it, once you find what is lurking in there, then you can work on it. Yes, you might end up in pain when you first find something that you did not know existed inside of you. When you look inside of you and you find something scary or something painful or something that was stuffed down, it's going to hurt. But from that pain and from that hurt, you can grow. And that's what you have to do over and over and over and over again. You have to keep shining that flashlight inward. You have to keep finding those dark corners where something can hide. I see you. We got to work on that. And that's what you do. Day after day. The more things that you work on, the bigger things that you work on. And that's what I did. I started with the big shit and just started working my way down. Once you start working on the larger things, what you realize is how the connectedness of everything starts to come into play. Because once you start removing all of these things that do not suit you, do not help you, do not support you, once you start removing all of these things that aren't for you, and you get them out and you release them and you free them from you, more things start coming in. You start getting new people, new job opportunities. You start realizing that you enjoy things that you didn't know that you would enjoy. because you start stepping outside of the box that you have put yourself in. And that's the thing that people must understand. If you continue to put up walls and continue to put up boxes and continue to say, this ain't for me, that ain't for me, this ain't for us, when you don't know yourself, all you are doing is limiting yourself. I can't do that anymore, and I don't want the people that are around me, the people that I can interact with, to do those same things. So I do my part. I try to grow. I try to learn. I try to better myself. I try to work on my wounds and my scars and my shadows, so that I can confidently come out of that darkness and reach out my hand to someone and tell them to let me show you the way. I know what is possible because I have done it. Don't ever take advice from somebody that hasn't been where you're trying to go. And that's the thing that messes people up all the time. They start listening to people that aren't on their level and don't have their ambitions, and they tell them, you can't do that shit. And we believe it. We believe somebody that has not even attempted the dreams that we want to live. We'll listen to them, but we won't listen to ourselves. We could be saying, I know I got this, I can do this. And everything around us is telling us something different. If there's something inside of you that is screaming, you can do this, you got this, and everybody else around you is saying you can't do that shit, guess what? It's time to be alone. Because you need to listen to the one that's saying, you got this. You got to stay true to that person inside, because they won't let you down, okay? They won't. Your intuition, your gut, it's not always going to be right. It's not always going to be right. Because you're going to feel something, you're going to hear something or whatever, and you're going to be like, oh, it means this, and you were wrong. Okay, so you haven't figured out the message quite yet, but that's okay. You still listen, because eventually you will start to understand why things are happening the way that they are. As you start to float down the river of life, you let the current take you. When you're trying to swim upstream, that's when you are wasting energy, wasting time. You won't get very far. You just tire yourself out. But when you go with it, when you let life take you the direction that you're supposed to go, when you let life lead and stop trying to control every damn thing all the time, when you let life lead you in the path and the direction that you are supposed to go, that inner voice will start talking loud and clear, okay? And when it does, you will start to see all of the things that are put in your path to make you successful. When you are following the path that you are supposed to, that is what happens. When you keep working and you keep grinding and you keep moving towards the path in the direction that life is trying to bring you, it's a pulling force. It makes you want to work. It makes you want to move. It makes you want to get up. It makes you want to do better and be better. But you got to take care of this shit first. So ask yourself the hard questions. Does this fit who I'm trying to be? Does this person make me better? Does this task move me in the direction that I'm trying to go? Do these thoughts make me happier? Does this feeling that I have Does it motivate me, or does it tear me down? You just ask those questions over and over and over, and you answer them truthfully. And in doing so, you learn to forgive. You learn to forgive the people that have done wrong to you. You learn to forgive yourself for allowing people to do wrong by you. And eventually you'll get to a point where you realize things aren't good or bad. Everything that happens is neutral. It is only how I see it, how I choose to let it affect me, is how it is, because perception is reality. And if you perceive something that is done to you as negative, it is now negative. If you perceive something that is done to you as positive, it is positive. Because the action in itself is neither good nor bad. This is how I can explain this. I got fired one time, and when I got home from work, I was ecstatic. Because for me, that was a good thing. My job did not suit me. It did not fit my soul. It compromised my morals. And so something that could normally be seen as an incredibly bad thing, to be out of work when you have children and your spouse does not work, and when the sole income that you have goes away, you're not supposed to be happy, but I was, because I knew what that meant. I knew that I did not have to compromise myself anymore for a paycheck. I had a joyful 2 weeks after I got fired, because I saw it as something positive and not a negative. And it's as simple as that. When you choose to see the light instead of the darkness, you will see light all around you. When you choose to see beauty, things will be beautiful. When you choose to see ugliness and hate and pain and suffering, well, that is going to be your reality. Choose light. Be kind.